In the summer of 2019, an 84-year-old woman named Margaret sat down at her kitchen table and began writing a letter. She wrote for 3 hours straight. She cried twice, laughed once, and when she finished, she folded it carefully, tucked it into an envelope, and never sent it. When her daughter found it after Margaret passed, she said it was the most important thing she had ever read in her life. This is that letter. And by the end of it, I promise you something inside you is going to shift.
If you're reading this, then I'm already gone. And you're probably sitting there wondering if I had any regrets. The honest answer is yes, but not the ones you'd expect. I didn't regret the hard times. I didn't regret the losses. I didn't even regret the business that fell apart when I was 60 and left me with nothing but a box of paperwork and a bruised pride. What I regretted were the quiet things, the invisible choices, the years I spent carrying weight I was never meant to carry. So let me tell you what I actually learned. Not the things they teach in school, the real things, the ones that only come after enough living and enough losing. It starts on a Tuesday, the worst Tuesday of my life. Your father had just lost his job. We had 3 children, a mortgage, and 40 pounds in the bank. I remember sitting at this very kitchen table, the same one I'm writing to you from now, and I couldn't breathe. My mind was already gone, already living in the disaster that hadn't happened yet, already imagining us homeless, already imagining the shame of telling your grandmother we had failed. I spent that entire Tuesday inside a catastrophe that existed only in my head. And do you know what happened? Your father found work by Friday. The mortgage was paid. We had soup for dinner and laughed at something on the television. But I had already suffered through the worst version of that week, a version that never came. I did that for 30 years, my love. 30 years of borrowing pain from futures that never arrived. And the cruelest part? All that worry never once prevented a single thing. It only ever robbed me of the present moment I was actually standing in. Whatever you are carrying right now that isn't today, put it down on this table and walk away from it. Now, I need to tell you about something that happened in 1994. I won a business award that year. There was a ceremony, a green dress, speeches. I could not tell you today what that award was even called, but I can tell you exactly how your Aunt Carol used to laugh at Christmas dinner. That snorting laugh she'd try to hide behind her hand, the one that embarrassed her and delighted everyone else in the room. I can tell you the exact weight of your father's hand in mine the night your brother was born. I can tell you what Betty's soup smelled like. Our neighbor Betty, who used to leave a thermos outside our door when she knew things were hard, never knocked, never asked for thanks, just left it there and walked away. The award is in a box in the attic. I haven't looked at it in 15 years. Betty's soup. I can still taste it. You are going to be tempted your whole life to chase the things that look impressive, the titles, the recognition, the moments that photograph well. Chase the dinner table instead. Chase the phone call. Chase the person sitting across from you right now. Because when it's quiet, and one day it will be very quiet. It will never be the awards you reach for. When the business collapsed, I was 60 years old. 60. I sat in this kitchen for 3 weeks and barely moved. I was ashamed. I was exhausted. I was furious at every decision I'd ever made. I genuinely believed the story was over, that I had used up all my chances. But then something strange happened. With nothing left to protect, I stopped being afraid. I started again, smaller, slower, more honestly than I had ever done anything before. And the woman who came out the other side of that collapse, I am more proud of her than any version of myself that came before. She knew what she was made of. She had been tested, truly tested, and she had not disappeared. The comfortable years made me soft. The hard years made me real. Don't wish away your difficult seasons, my darling. Don't pray for them to end before they finish their work. They are not punishments. They are not detours. They are the road. They were always the road. There is something else I need to tell you, something I have never spoken about out loud. Your Aunt Carol and I, we didn't speak for 11 years. 11 years. It started at your grandfather's funeral. A word said in grief, at the wrong moment, by the wrong person. Something small that grew enormous in the silence that followed. Every year that passed, I told myself I was right. I told myself I was protecting myself. I told myself she should be the one to reach out first. But the truth I buried under all that pride was that I just missed her. I missed her every single day for 11 years, and I was too stubborn to say so. When she got sick, your cousin called me, and something cracked open in my chest that I hadn't felt in over a decade. I drove to that hospital not knowing what I was going to say, not knowing if she'd even want to see me. I walked into that room. She looked at me, and neither of us said a single word about it, not one word in 11 years worth of silence. We just sat together and held hands, like we were 9 years old again, sharing a bed during a thunderstorm. She passed 4 months later. 4 months. I nearly didn't go. I nearly let 11 years of pride steal even that. What I know now, what I wish someone had told me at 30, at 40, at 50, is that forgiveness was never about her. It was never about being right or wrong. It was about me. Finally, putting down a weight I was never designed to carry. Whatever name comes to your mind right now, whoever's face you just saw, don't wait 11 years. Don't wait 11 days. I was shy until I was 45 years old. Painfully, quietly shy. I used to rehearse ordering coffee. I used to leave gatherings early because people exhausted me and I didn't know why. I believed, truly believed, that was simply who I was. Fixed, finished, written in permanent ink. Then I started a small craft class at the community center. Just a handful of women on Wednesday afternoons. Nothing important. And something in me opened up that I didn't know had ever been closed. I found out I loved people. I found out I was funny. I found out I had things to say that others actually wanted to hear. I was a completely different woman at 60 than I was at 40. Different again at 80. The person you are today is not a verdict. It is a draft. You are allowed to cross things out. You are allowed to rewrite whole chapters. You are allowed to wake up one morning and simply decide to become someone closer to who you actually are. You are never not at 30, not at 50, not at 75. You are never too far into the story to change direction. The last thing, I promise this is the last thing. When I was 9 years old, my teacher, Mrs. Donnelly, stopped me after class one afternoon. She put her hand on my shoulder and she looked at me and she said, "Margaret, you have a very good mind. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise." She probably forgot about it before she reached her car. I never forgot it. Not once in 75 years. The reason I walked into that community center at 45, the reason I rebuilt at 60, the reason I am sitting at this table right now, writing this letter to you. One sentence. From a woman who will never know what she did. You don't know what your kindness does, my love. You will never see most of it. It ripples out into places and people and moments you'll never witness, changing directions you'll never know you changed. But it compounds, quietly, invisibly, like interest in a bank account. You just consistently, quietly, as a way of moving through the world. That is everything I know. That is all of it. I love you more than this letter can hold.
The letter ended there. Her daughter said she read it 7 times the night she found it, and then she drove across town at 11 o'clock at night to call on someone she hadn't spoken to in 2 years. She didn't even know she needed to do that until she read the letter. That's what real wisdom does. It doesn't just teach you something new. It reminds you of something you already knew and finally makes you brave enough to act on it. If this story reached something in you tonight, share it with someone, not tomorrow, tonight. There's someone in your life right now who needs to hear exactly what Margaret said. You already know who it is. And if you're new here, this channel exists for one reason, so that letters like this one, wisdom like Margaret's, never gets lost. Subscribe, because there are more stories like this one waiting for you. We'll see you in the next one.